In May of 2023, I released a book called Crossing the Bridge, a practitioner's learning journey into systems thinking and creating the conditions for change. It's a clear, non-technical, practical guide about how to start applying systems thinking ideas in an organisational setting, which I self-published through Kindle Direct Publishing. But why is it important for systems practitioners to write books? Well, I believe practitioners are the ones with the great systems thinking insights, and in some cases I know this for sure. They don't, however, have enough recognised outlets to share those insights. Without an affiliation to a university, academic publishing can be really difficult or costly if you want your work to be open source. And I don't think it's acceptable in my perspective to believe that it's only academics who have creative insights or lead in the field, because this isn't always the case. They just have more outlets like journals to make it look like the case. And in my work and experiences, practitioners are at the cutting edge of putting systems thinking into practice. Many are really insightful, they're creative, they're moving things forward, but they just need the outlets to put their insights and work out into the world. And self-publishing for me was one of the easiest ways to do it. Write what you're passionate about. What have you learned? What are your insights? Things that you've developed. Don't just put them out there in things like blogs like I did. That way they're ripe for the taking, and rarely does an author of a blog get recognised for their insights or work. I get thousands of hits on my blogs from all over the world, and I rarely get a mention by anyone. And so I've recently taken a number of blogs off the website and put them into other more secure media. And if you're interested in writing a book, it doesn't take much to find a process to help you through the writing it. And it can take many iterations before you get the ethos, structure, tone that you want. And you'll need to consider who you want your target audience to be and why. But you can follow a process to take you through it, so it's not that daunting. And if you're considering self-publishing, as I did, you're in control and you can draw upon work you've already undertaken. I used a lot of my past blog posts, and I also included a bit of new content for those who follow me and might be looking for something new or additional. But don't let your thoughts go to waste, turn them into something. I was really extremely lucky to have a fabulous ex-colleague to do my copywriting and editing, and I can't praise her input highly enough. She kept me right on track and made my messages really clear. And I also got friends to read the book, the draft of it, friends who were not in my world of work. I didn't tell them much about the book before they read it. I wanted to know what came across to them so that I could reconcile their feedback with what I had intended the key insights to be. But writing your book's the easy part. Organising it, formatting it, getting it reviewed, making changes, tweaking, changing, repeating the formatting is a really long process. And you have to be dedicated and not be afraid to deal with the details. I always knew I could write a book. I've been writing short stories for years and I love to write, but I never thought I could understand the requirements and processes of self-publishing. But I got through it, so I'm sure anybody can. But a word of warning, don't expect huge sales if you self-publish, especially if you're aiming at a specialist market as I do, the world of systems thinking. I got an early influx of sales and then it tailed off to a steady trickle. And you aren't likely to get rich from writing books unless you're a known author. But was it worth it? Absolutely, 100% yes. I developed myself so much as I went through it. Firstly, my systems practice grew and developed as I went through a really deep reflective process, and I recognised how far I'd travelled. And secondly, writing the book itself was new to me, and so I developed this new skill of writing a book along the way. And for me, it was a life-changing experience that I really thoroughly enjoyed. And when I have the time and space, further books are definitely going to emerge. So if you're engaging in systems practice, you're putting your systems thinking into practice in the workplace, and you're doing great things, I would really encourage you to consider it self-publishing. doing your own book, getting it out there, sharing your insights as a way to share your work. It's been a life-changing experience for me.